3. We will get to the Shadow Energy Secretary, Barry Gardiner, as soon as he appears, and we'll ask him about Labour's proposed plan that they've put to their MPs this evening. In the meantime, the Police Service of Northern Ireland says it's working with other forces to look at the extent of something called the Momo Challenge. I don't know if you've seen this online or on your social media over the last couple of days. A scary-looking figure concealed within apparently harmless videos or games. So you click on what you think is a harmless video, and then this figure emerges, purporting to ask children who are watching to communicate with it by WhatsApp, and then making threats to them. Garry Kusulu works with young people on internet safety. That a fair enough description, Garry? Do you want to?
I think you said it pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long's it been around? Where's it come from?
Well, America. It's come from America and South America. If you look on Twitter, there's lots of Spanish writing on there. So, but it seems like a while ago, and it's just come over the shore. I did an experiment tonight before I came on your show, Phil.
Yeah.
I've got 4 children.
Yeah.
And I got the 11-year-old and my 11-year-old to watch a video. And he wasn't that impressed, to be honest. And then I got my 13-year-old to look at this thing. But they groan. They say, "Oh, Dad, do we have to watch this again?" Because I think it was just my opinion. But when we educate children on what to expect, it's less dramatic for them, less stressful. So what Christian thought, my 11-year-old, he thought, look, Dad, they build you up. They ask you to do something simple, like put a knife in your bed, and then it builds up to cutting yourself. And these, have you watched any, Phil?
No, I haven't.
Okay. They're quite, what you're first taken with is the high production. They're done by kids that know how to edit. It's like a show.
Right.
And the more likes and comments you get, the more these kids, it's just entertainment for them. I don't think they understand the end game, that someone will get hurt. I think somebody in Mexico is the only, as far as I could see, the only person that's got really, really hurt from this.
So just so I'm clear with you, the parts where they're asking you to do things like put a knife in your bed, is that coming through over the top of the video that you're watching, or is that only if you then engage with them on WhatsApp?
That's coming through the video.
Right.
So there's a young person, usually at 3 a.m., and he's videoing himself going through the actions. So how it actually works is like a demo video of what's about to happen. So then I guess the young person does it for themselves and sees what it's like for themselves. So they phone a number on WhatsApp. That person then phones them back, a mystery ghost or a ghoul or whatever on earth it is, the Momo, and then the Momo could be anyone. And they're just taking advantage of our vulnerable young people.
Is there a question to be asked here of some of the video services needing to tighten up so that they can't get over the top of whatever you're watching in the first place?
Well, it's ridiculous. My children are down as their real age on YouTube, and it just had a warning. It said, this warning is this content is explicit. And then I was over them, and I said, go on then, press it. And they pressed it, and they just went on. YouTube, there is, in the news today, in the social media world news, YouTube are getting really quite in deep water with the advertisers. People are pulling the advertising spend that they spend on YouTube because of things like this.
Because, I mean, your kids are older than mine, but the concern for me as being the parent of a toddler, he quite likes some of the arts and crafts videos on YouTube. But if I'm not stood over him the whole time, his boredom threshold means that the finger just reaches for the screen, bang, and he lands on the next thing. And, if you're not there watching the whole time, you don't know what's coming up.
Well, there's a question there. Like, I've got a 4-year-old. I've got 4 children, actually, and they range from that 4-year-old to 13. And Peppa Pig, all the different things that the 4-year-old loves. I think that you'd have to follow it along. If you're watching this level of intensity, I don't think that it would grab that young person's attention. I would worry about, because I asked the 11-year-old, what do you think if the 8-year-old saw it, Christian, Stefan? I said to him, what do you think? And I think that between 8 and 10 is a really vulnerable age for this to be watched. Like I said, my almost teenager thought it was ridiculous.
And so whose responsibility do you think it is to police it?
Parents. Look, teachers have enough to do. I'm a governor of a school. How much can teachers do? Are we expecting miracles from our teachers? Parents should really, really educate their kids on this stuff. What do you think? Who would you like your kids to be? Because we can't police it. It's out of the bag. The genie is out of the box.
Although, you said something very interesting a couple of answers ago, and I wonder whether you think that actually, to an extent, might it be self-policing? If advertisers start to pull their cash, then that forces the site operators into better action, doesn't it?
Correct. I think so. And my fear is, because a long time ago, Phil, a school rang me up and they said, Garry, would you come and do a talk on self-esteem? And I said, no way, I can't do a talk on self-esteem. I'm not a therapist. And they said, no, we really love what you're doing with young people. And I said, look, I'm not doing it. And they said, we'll offer you a certain amount of money. I said, no way. And then they doubled it. I said, go on, then I'll do it. So they twisted my arm. And I went for the next 3 months studying self-esteem. And I was quite surprised at what I found. In actual fact, how I define self-esteem to these young people is if you're a different character. So little Johnny is a different Johnny to his best friend in geography. He's a different character to his aunt, different character to the next door neighbour. My point, I didn't ever charge the school in the end, just for the record. But my point is that these young people that are making these videos and fueling it, their self-esteem is so out of sync. They're doing it. The kid that I'm looking at now, it's ridiculous. He's got 52,000 likes. They're doing it for that. 906 comments. It's dangerous stuff because we're bringing up our children to that's how they're measuring their social status on how many likes and comments they've got. They're celebrities, these young kids, YouTubers, social influencers. And that is a big problem there, isn't it? Because that's the way society is going. How influential you are on social media means something.
Garry, thanks for talking to us. Nice to get your thoughts on that. Garry Kasulu.
It's a pleasure to be asked, and I think that we can get on top of this with some big picture thinking.
Thank you, Garry. Garry Kasulu, who works with young people on internet safety. 11:15.